Live. Live. Are we live? I think we're live. Live, live, live. All right. Hey, everyone. All those just coming in, all those who have been waiting around, welcome. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. I am live. Bobby Bama, Justin B, Trog. What's up, guys? Big shout out, first off, to Bobby Bama. It worked something out, and he's a good dude, and I appreciate him. Won't go into more detail than that, but he came in clutch as a homie. So as a fellow professional, getting the things done, understanding business and all that. So Trog, your Discord account got suspended for a day. You've been quiet. That's fine, man. I bounce in and out. I'm not on Discord all the time. I just have too much going on. So, and I'm in so many freaking servers now. I kind of want to bounce out of some. I hate micromanaging that stuff. Yes, very busy. I will be providing some updates here on that stuff. But as always, welcome. Welcome, one and all. Anyone coming in, welcome. Going to answer the community post questions first. There really weren't that many. We'll get those knocked out and out of the way. And then from there, it's just free for all, shooting the breeze with everyone here in the chat. Slow mode is on, helps keep the bots away, also helps me keep track of the chat. Yeah, all that kind of good stuff. So, freaking chair. All right. Yes, you and your company. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. We got to talk about the thing, and then next week I can get that thing sent to you. My buddy who has the licenses for that stuff really isn't available until next week, but we'll get it out to you. So he's coming in clutch, helping me out. So I'm looking forward to you seeing it or getting it, and yeah, all that. So glad we could work something out. Appreciate it. All right, let me get these community post questions taken care of, and then we can just shoot the breeze. So there really wasn't more than one, but it was kind of a couple of questions in one post from Cool AF R90 R90. Can we agree that Trump's first year was amazing? I mean, there were some good things and there were some not good things. Unfortunately, just a lesser two evils kind of situation with anything in politics. I don't like to talk about politics all that much. It's actually one of the few things I don't enjoy talking about. But first term was definitely better. This time around is not so much. Needs to get his head out of his 6 point of contact, if you know what I mean. Are the conservatives, let's see, are the conservatives traitors turning on Trump when the going gets tough with Iran? I mean, there's a lot of people who don't want war. A lot of veterans don't want another war for the sake of all the just life experience and all the dudes that are in right now. I really don't have an opinion either way. It's just the situation I have to monitor from a professional standpoint. And I have a lot of associates who still operate in the Middle East, a lot of friends over there. So I'm just wishing them safety and success in their jobs. Outside of that, the decision making is out of any one individual's hands as far as the voting populace. So no point in really worrying about what you can't control. You can voice your disdain or support or whatever, but outside of that, doesn't fucking matter. So, I really have no opinion on it either way. Just monitoring the situation. Does anyone have any good gear they want to donate to you? PBS 14 Mountain House News Year Survival Supplement. I mean, Cool AF, if you just go like on Discord, there's a bunch of groups that barter and trade stuff and sell stuff and whatnot. Also, check out yard sales and stuff. You'd be surprised at what people are selling at yard sales. And check your local surplus store. Support your brick and mortar mom and pop shops. And then check out some of the online surplus retailers too, because you can get some really good deals on stuff. But yeah, I mean that's kind of my advice with that stuff. It's just looking for that kind of stuff. So that was uh that was pretty much it for those questions. So alrighty, we are done with that. Now we can just shoot the breeze in the chat because those are the only questions the community posts this time around. So we'll just kind of go at it here. I'll catch up in the chat here. Yeah, no rush, Bobby Bama. Yeah, it's we'll get it squared away. Also, your Trog says also your generation doesn't want to be in the next forever war for a country that is not America, and I agree. Sandbox is never going to cool down, unfortunately. No, they've been at war, tribalistically and otherwise, since the dawn of civilization. Cradle of civilization, but also birthplace of most conventional warfare to some extent or another up until the 20th century, was pretty much happening there. Justin B, you score shoot cheap on surplus at surplus all the time. You just got to check and be vigilant. Yeah, exactly. You just look around. Again, there's a bunch of good, whether it's whatever online platform, Discord, Telegram, whatever. There's a lot of dudes that are bartering and trading gear and all that stuff and selling gear and everything. It's whatever. You just get a shop around. A lot of people just don't do the due diligence of just kind of a little bit of basic, just research and kind of price shopping and stuff. It's not that hard to do. As much as just communicating with people. I do have a couple of pieces of gear that I'll be putting up for sale as well, that I don't use or is just stuff I found or whatever. So I mean, some of that'll be coming along too with various uh, private groups and whatever. I think I've got a pair of Desert Night camo pants. Just randomly, I just found those. I don't know where they came from. So those will go up at some point. It's just stuff like that. Trog, yeah, recently bought some British webbing, waiting for shipping. Right on. Right on. Was it that UK surplus wholesale retailer? Or where'd you get that at? Trog, great example of human nature, progress, and destruction. Yeah, I know. It's just is what it is. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Right on, man. That's cool. That's good stuff. Trying to think of a company. Yeah, there was like two. There's like two. They were like all over eBay and stuff that have all kinds of really good condition, like PLCE, the British webbing, which has a far superior harness to Alice gear. Far superior. So yeah, the PLCE web gear is solid for a surplus or budget LBE. It's good to go. So yeah, there you go. That's a good way to go. And the cool thing about like Smersh and PLCE and stuff, um, a lot of modern Molly gear, uh, the rig itself and the pouches and stuff can be kind of retrofitted to each other. So you can modernize it even more from there too. So and you can get an outer belt liner with pals or Molly, whatever. It's thunderstorming on and off here. Um, and you could do a modular setup that way. Basically, a padded belt liner that you can run the PLCE belt through and all that. If it's not PLC, if it's not PALS already, so that kind of stuff. Yeah. Um, Hopefully, I don't lose internet or power, but we got some storms going on. We had those nasty storms, high winds come through yesterday. 80, 90 mile an hour gusts. Bunch of trees are down, branches everywhere. Buddy just to the west of me sent me some pictures, and some of the street signs were bent. Like it was gnarly. Quite the derecho, really, that came through. Um, hey, Bad Dream, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, today it's just been raining on and off and thunderstorms and stuff. So free car wash. Yeah, you had to. Yep, had to leave work early. Yeah, you guys got it after we did because you're in Michigan, so you're on the other side of the lake. Yeah, it kind of wrapped up and around, and then Tactical Muffin Top is over in Nebraska, and they got nailed by it. Kind of the day before that, and tornadoes and stuff. Hopefully, he's okay and everyone's okay out there. I haven't really heard anything from him. Um, yeah, just some gnarly storms. Today it's just some thunder and lightning, which I love thunderstorms like that. And rain on and off. So I didn't even lose power yesterday with the high winds and stuff. So that was cool. Um, but there was a lot of other areas that lost power for a few hours here. So everyone's saying hey to everyone. Very cool. 200-mile-per-hour tornado with a huge debris ball just popped up in a tiny supercell near Peoria, Illinois. Nice big wedge. Ooh, that's not good. So that's got to be EF3, EF4 at least. So anyone down in Peoria, Illinois, hunker down. And my buddy's just feeding me some weather intel right now. Yeah, weather has been bad. Didn't rain for 2 weeks. I know we needed the rain, but we got quite a bit in a pretty short period of time. The creek levels are up really high right now, and all that. Obviously, it'll kind of peter out when we don't have rain for a couple of days. So it has been a rough year for farmers. I mean, it's still early in the season, though. So um, I think it's going to be it's already been kind of hot, but I mean, I think we're going to get some more. It's going to be a reasonably wet season. I think we're going to get more rain on and off at the way the patterns are, and that means we're going to get more snow during this winter again too. We had some pretty good snow this last winter, after kind of a snow deficit for the couple of winter cycles before that. So I think we're going to get more snow again. Earlier in the spring, almost got to the May 2020 flood levels. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So we already got a lot more rain now than we have since really like 2019, 2020. Yeah. So I remember the flooding was bad 2019 as well. FEMA activated and stuff. And then I was working contract with these guys at that point. Um, and we were doing search and rescue and force protection operations and stuff during those floods. So yeah, I haven't really seen it since then. Um, Good question, Bobby Bama. What made me decide to invent frac tea? So it was a combination of things. I just being an end user for such a long period of time and just really enjoying history and camouflage in general. But just talking with dudes over the years and homies like Brent0331 and seeing the camo tests and me doing some camo tests with stuff that was on the market and that got discontinued and all this other stuff and a lot of people's uh aversion and or disdain to standardized national military patterns in use right now and wanting more options than the retro patterns that are out there and then unobtainium stuff that's coming from Europe and stuff. There's just a big voicing of demand for something newer that could be beneficial to them in all of their various places and regions and applications. And I was like, between my interests and wanting to kind of shift from what I was doing work wise, just because I didn't like where the industry was going and all the bureaucracy and everything else. And then, having a design background and everything, I was like, I can do this. So I spent some time doing study and, the design and development process, and then started the whole formal process, trademark and copywriting and everything else and getting the website spun up and all that stuff to when it launched last year. And then trying to secure licensing partners for print, for material and print production and provision and all that stuff, which is still an ongoing process. But yeah, it's been pretty good so far. Any new business, starting out, even with a big hype train or a big rapid following and things like that, a lot of the times the company is still in the black for the first year. They're not going to make any money. Um, they'll be lucky to break even in year two, um, even year three sometimes. Year 2 into year three, that's when you can start seeing a real positive increase in the financial success rate, to be able to kind of, again, equal out and then start moving into the green a little bit. But there's a lot of investment, obviously, as that happens, putting money back into doing things like marketing and all that stuff, promotionals and then doing all the partnership stuff and everything. So and kind of the way I have it set up, and that's how some other camo companies have it set up, is intellectual property, the IP licensing of the camo patterns, and everything, and the branding and stuff, for manufacturers and for the printers and everything. So it's all royalty based. Um, and a large portion of that is from the textile provision and printing side. So that's just kind of what that is. So that's where a lot of that legwork comes in and a lot of that grind comes in. But getting it out there for all the people who have wanted something like this, as well as expanding the scope of access of manufacturing and products, as much as just the access of materials and printing too, for the companies that make the stuff, that become partners. So it's this whole process. Um, and it's one of the big updates is, the major US mill and textile printer material provider, that I've been trying to work with for the last like 6 months, 7 months, finally got some grige, which is just undyed material, in, so that we can do some test prints, or what they're called strike offs, some test prints with my pattern, a couple of my patterns, to make sure everything's good to go. And I'll have to pay for those test prints out of pocket. But once that's good to go, then we can finish the formal licensing process, um, which, from talking with them the last couple of times, sounds like they're good with doing, and I don't have to try and come up with a bunch of money to order product that I don't know what to do with, because I don't have the space or the logistics set up for shipping that or cutting and shipping that or anything. And there's also a third party fabric material distributor. There's a couple of those companies that are interested too. So once the licensing happens, after the test print, once the licensing happens, we're all happy with everything. Then companies can start ordering quantity. I think with them, it's larger MOQs, so it's typically half to full roll quantities. Um, and then the third party distributors here in the US can order that too, and then sales and stuff can start happening. So companies that make a lot more gear and move a lot more product, it's more for them. Um, but with those third party distributors, then the smaller gear makers, the custom order guys, and all that, which is about half my partner pool right now, can order from them and get material in yardage that they want or need, that isn't these huge amounts, that just is expensive and not sustainable for a small business. And then the larger US manufacturers can pick it up too. And it is and I am making sure, and I am ensuring that it is restricted to US manufacturing only. Um, Caveat, there's two European companies that make everything in-house in Europe, to their equivalents of Berry compliance, that want to pick up material too. So I'm going to allow them as well. One of them is Wombat Tactical out of the country of Hungary. Really, really nice uniforms and stuff and soft goods. not quite Cry and UF Pro prices, but they are a little bit on the higher end of price. So they're very, very quality stuff. I know the owner and talk with him. Eric is a really good dude. But that aside, there's just like one, two examples. The rest are all U.S. companies, and that's how I'm going to keep it. So this major printer and stuff. Now that we're getting to the point finally that we can do the test prints and stuff, um, all kinds of materials, uniform ripstop, 500D, 1000D, some PU backed and laminate stuff, webbing, elastics, some hybrid materials like SAM1 and things like that. Like all of that will be available because they make and access all of that, source all of that for their product catalogs. So huge jump. I already have the one licensed printer right now, Rainier Fabrics, and that's uh, all poly and polyelastic, elastine based stuff for athletic apparel, cold weather gear, also tactical soft goods, and that range of stuff for bags and packs and chest rigs and whatever as well. That's the waterproof material stuff in large, apart from the athletic stuff and the cold weather gear fabric bases. So this other side of it is the expansion with a lot more nylon based stuff, and some hybrid and laminate products, and then webbing and things like that. So they print webbing as well. So all of that will become available once test prints are done and good to go. We're happy with the quality control and everything with that, and then we finish that licensing and then can move forward on that side as well. So got one good partner now, and it's a veteran owned mom and pop shop out of the Pacific Northwest, and then this other one, MMI Textiles, is out of I think Ohio or Indiana, one of the two. I can never remember. Huge multi-structure facility. They have their own mill, Johnson Mill or Jason Mill. It's a U.S. mill that makes a lot of their base materials. So full berry compliance there, and everything sourceable, direct. So that's kind of the stages and steps with things, just kind of an update with that kind of stuff, as much as kind of some of the roots of where the brand, came from and stuff. And, I just wanted to provide material and be able to work with partners to provide products in my patterns to the prepared citizen community, as much as, your sporting community, some hunting, the airsofter crowd. And then also I do have my cage code. I do have cage code as well now too. So any specialized, because it's not going to be a mainstream military camouflage by any stretch, but there could be some specialized application use with a couple of branches within units within branches of the military, or other agencies, if that makes sense. There could be some opportunity there for them as well. Um, but that's just again one of those formal things, along with doing trademark and copyright and business establishment and all that is if you want to scale for what degree and efficacy there is for law enforcement and select government access as well. Um, can't completely write that off, because it is good for business, as much as the principle on the business end of camouflage contributing to being a life-saving equipment. When you're able to properly operate in a variable environment and conceal yourself effectively, that is life-saving equipment. As much as the materials involved too, whether it's NIR and IR material or whatever else, which some of that is available and is going to be available soon too. Um, so that kind of product stuff as well. Like that's all contributing to life-saving equipment, as much as general operational, you know, effectiveness of camouflage, but also just access to good quality equipment, with the partners and everything. So, it's a big combination of things, but first and foremost was the American citizenry and being able to access something that works for your more dedicated regions, to preference. As much as it all can be, the drip, and very fashionable, which is actually kind of cool, because some of my stuff is going to be used for um, some streetwear and fashion oriented type products here as well. There's a contract sewer out of Minnesota that's getting some material for a Japanese company that they're making into, I think, like some tote bags and some other stuff, and those are going to be available in the Japanese market in one of my patterns, which is wild to me. I just mailed them out some branded tags um, last week for that stuff. So the branded tags here for that stuff. So I never thought in a million years that my stuff would be used in the streetwear and fashion sense too. But I'm all for it. That's really cool that there's enough interest there and demand and growing demand that that can happen. I expect things like hoodies and shirts and things like that, but that kind of thing is actually pretty cool. So I'm not apprehensive about that at all either. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, that kind of stuff. Like there's all kinds of really cool things happening right now. There's a huge pool of prospect partners, manufacturing companies and stuff that want to pick the patterns up and get on board. They're just waiting for their preferred materials if it's not already available to them. So it's pretty amazing. A lot of good things are happening, and they're finally happening. There's finally certain points where things are happening in certain avenues of this whole process, this whole endeavor of getting a new business, let alone a niche camouflage brand off the ground and expanded and scaled in such a way. It's pretty amazing. So it's the entire pretty much the entire community, the pool of manufacturers and everything else, and networking with all those guys through email and on Instagram and everything has been extremely positive and supportive. And I can't thank all of them enough for that. And just, being personable, being a good communicator really helps in that process on my end too. But everyone's been really receptive and the exposure and the demand is continually growing, which is really cool. So Fract is here to stay for the long run, and I'm very excited about that. Um, there's a lot of cool stuff happening though, but the anoraks are coming soon. That same company that's doing the anoraks is also doing some IR mitigation stuff, uh, apparel and stuff. We're getting some more wrap, adhesion wrap companies on board in time. Apart from all the amazing soft goods manufacturers, the uniform stuff, as I said before, is the most difficult of any of it. There's not a lot with their own retail platforms. There's not a lot of U.S. based uniform manufacturers doing stuff in the U.S. There's only a small handful. So that one European company is an outlier, but I'm all about it with them because of the way that they do things, and they keep it completely insular and protected within their uh, their business and location and everything, which is good. Um, but so that's something that'll be a continual pursuit as far as the uniform stuff goes. So if anyone out there wants to start a uniform manufacturing company here in the US, you've got some options. You have a lot of opportunity. That's a huge investment though. That kind of facility, probably you're looking at $1 million to get off the ground right out the bat. I mean, you could probably do it for about half that, or even a little less if you're starting out in small runs of like a couple of sets of uniforms at a time out of your garage and then scaling from there. But the demand will grow very quickly, especially right now. Um, so I don't have money to start that kind of secondary endeavor. I'm sure there are investors out there that would like to do something like that, that prioritize strengthening and bolstering American domestic capabilities with manufacturing and that resilience and security and everything. Um, so that's a big opportunity out there. Um, if anyone watching and listening knows anyone that's got that kind of capital and would like to do something like that, sky's the limit with that. And people are looking for jobs You could hire a good number of people to get that kind of thing off the ground. There's some companies out there that um, sell and supply all the industrial sewing machines and equipment and everything. So it could get launched pretty quick as long as all that stuff is squared away. Um, but otherwise, it's GS manufacturers, so government contract, basically exclusively manufacturers. There's a few in the country. A couple of them will do custom order, minimum order quantities, usually 500 sets of uniforms. They'll do those contract manufacturer orders uh, for private companies and stuff for retail. That's a lot of money though, and again, not something that I can do. Now without making a lot more money in royalties myself. But then I would need another partner to retail them, which I could do. There are some of the partner manufacturers and partner companies that are either on board or are coming on board that would be willing to put uniforms in their catalogs, as well as just selling yardage in general. Um, so that opportunity is there, but it's a lot of money. So a little bit of a run there talking about that. It's great. It is. It is. It's a long process. It's a grind, and that's continuing, obviously. But finally making some really good headway, and um, yeah, I'm really optimistic about the near future with everything and all the progress that's being made. Had no idea till you all goes into what you do. Yeah, I could make a pretty lengthy video by itself just talking about the whole process, which I may at some point. Um, it is quite a process. Um, and it never really ends, just like with any business, you know. But yeah, a lot goes into it. About how long did it take you to get it ready to take to market? So between from the very start, doing the environmental study, a little bit of pattern study, and then the whole designing process and everything. That took about 3.5 years. And then doing all the legal filing stuff and getting the website up and everything. And that's just all that's been done for just over a year now, a year and a couple of months. So in total, about 4.5 years, just slightly over that, about 4.7 years, 4.8 years. Um, so yeah, that's about how long it took to get it all to where everything was ready in that regard as far as design, files, legal, all that stuff, and then launch and everything. So yeah, that's about how long it took me. Adhesion wrap is cool. So I already have one of those partners on board right now, Tact Wrap. Pete, he's also in the Pacific Northwest. He's a good dude. He's been really MIA lately, though. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he had machine failures or something happened that he's super busy, but he is just on his business side with Tact Wrap. He's been MIA, and I hope he's okay. I haven't heard back from him. I've reached out a couple of times to be like, "Hey, are you okay?" You know, just to ask him, be like, "Dude, you doing all right? You know, is there anything I can do to help?" Or you know, I just haven't seen or heard much from you. So I don't know what's going on with him, unfortunately. But he is a partner. He was one of the first partners that came on board, as far as a catalog partner that offered that kind of thing. But I'm gonna reach out to Ranger Rap. I tried to hit him up on Instagram, but they weren't accepting business DMs. I don't know why. So I'm gonna have to email them directly and call them. Um, I've been talking to Jackal Tape, which is kind of a small run company. I'm not sure where he sources his stuff though. He was very vague about it. Um, but I'm talking to him a little bit too. Um, so yeah, there's a couple there. Ranger Rap would be the big one that I'm gonna reach out and talk to as well. Aside from Tact Wrap, also hydro dipping, helmets, ballistic plates, firearm receivers and stuff. The one hydro dip company I'm talking to, ICI Hydro, which is actually local in local-ish in my state. They do hydro dip and they have their FFL, so they can do all that. Magazines, you name it. So that's another thing. I got to talk to a couple of companies that here in the U.S. that supply them their hydro dip sheets, films, whatever you want to call them. Got to talk to them and finish the licensing, kind of the licensing process with them. But that'll be another thing that's coming here soon as well. There's a hunting company that designed and is manufacturing a new line of crossbows. They want to hydro dip the arms and the chassis of the crossbow in my patterns, which is really cool. They're localish. I think they're Wisconsin or Minnesota as well. And they go through ICI Hydro. So some other really cool stuff happening there. But that hydro dip company offers those services. So if people want that kind of stuff done, and at some point I'll have to do the like 3.5 hour drive up to see them and I'm going to take like a couple of Magpul mags with me, and we're going to hydro dip my patterns on those mags for some promo, and probably do one for a giveaway at some point. But like that kind of stuff too. So all that's happening. I'm not limiting myself in any avenue. It's not just soft goods and textiles and uniforms and stuff. It's hydro dip. It's you know these other things that are happening, the wraps and all that stuff. I'm trying to branch and all that and support other American businesses, have them as partners and drive customers to them. Just a really good Ouroboros, a cyclical process of strengthening and supporting all American manufacturing. So that's a big principle of mine as a brand. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Not really paying off yet. I'm still in the black, like I said earlier. But eventually, um, I should be able to start breaking even. Um, I'm hoping probably next year will probably be when I will actually be able to break even. So going into year three, be able to break even and start being in the green with things. And then I'll have to start hitting, the expo, the defense expo and textile expo circuits and all that stuff too. And that's all going to cost money. And then I have to come visit everyone. That's going to cost money too. But I look forward to coming to visit people. So I got a bunch of homies that I need to go see. So, um, yeah, hydro dip will be really cool. I mean, firearm chassis, receivers, fore ends and all that. Like that's going to be sick. I'm all about the rattle can gang, but how clean Cerakote and Hydro Dip looks, um, while being effective, like, dude, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited to see that process. They do really cool stuff. Um, or if they sell the Hydro Dip sheets, people could do it themselves if they have a hydro dipping setup. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like license with the American film sheet, whatever you want to call it, providers. Try and license with them. Um, I reached out to one, haven't heard back. I might just have to call them and be like, hey, um, and all that. Yeah. So again, another option. Um, it is badass. It's exciting. Being your own boss, running your own company is a 24/7 endeavor. I have very irregular sleep cycles anyway, as it is just from prior work. So I'm kind of used to it, just kind of whenever, whatever. And at odd hours and things like that. But at the same time, it's like you're just it's constant. You're putting in I'm putting in very long days. Um, and that is a very singular focus right now is the business. In a lot of ways. Um, ooh, I don't know if you guys heard that. That was a good one. Thunder roll. Um, so yeah. Um, yeah, it's that kind of stuff. Long hours. Still active with music stuff and am doing various graphic design commissioning on the side and things like that. Um, but they're not nearly as active as they were before, the business launch. Um, had a couple other things happen, whatever in life. Some of you guys know about it, but it's whatever. It just is what it is, that does contribute as well to shift focus and loss of a little motivation with doing those kind of side things. I mean, I still love music and I listen to it all the time. I'm playing it all the time when I can and and all that, but haven't had any real desire to work on some of the other projects, work on new releases. Got the one band that plays shows and stuff, active with that. We practice, every weekend and all that stuff, but or every other weekend, whatever it is, the schedule kind of bounces around based on everyone's availability. But like outside of that, like haven't had a whole lot of time, let alone motivation to want to work on that stuff. Sales have been really bad this year too, as far as music stuff goes, just because of the economy. Um, so there's not a lot of that income, that appropriation of income that's coming in for the music, all the music projects and band related stuff and everything, because all that money made for that goes right back into music function stuff. That's just proper good management, um, for the most part. So it's not been a great year for sales or anything either. So I'm still sitting on a bunch of Pythonism CDs, which Foster has decided to hang up the guitar for now as well. Um, and I'm not disappointed. He's making his own decisions, and I love the guy. So um, we may end up working on a couple songs for a split with my buddy Fender Sleeps over in Portugal, the country, and his band, because we were supposed to do a split a couple of years ago, but things kind of fell apart. He went into the military. Their band went took a break and all that. But now that they're back, I think we're gonna try and knock out a couple of songs at least for a split. And then I think Foster, for whatever indefinite amount of time, is probably not going to be doing music anymore. So Pythonism will probably be on hiatus for that period of time. Um, Hopefully not forever, but it just is what it is. Um, I fully support Foster in his other endeavors, and he's got a family and a job and everything and all that. So I need to go over to North Dakota and see him at some point. But yeah, he's a really good dude. But like there's just things like that happening with music projects too. But like kind of just in the pulse of the industry as it is right now, with all this AI shit going on, all these bad policies that companies like Spotify are putting out, other stuff like that. It's just it leaves a very sour taste in the mouth to even on that regard, on that end, in that regard, even want to make music right now either, apart from all the other focus and everything that's happening. So it just kind of is what it is. Kane Corso, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, this is kind of what it is. Aposticum, the band I'm in that does play shows and stuff. I mean, we just had our first full length album with that project released back in November. Go check it out, Sounding the Seven Horns. We are writing our second album right now. It's kind of a chaotic period because our bass player had left. He's going to come back and play a couple of shows just as a live session guy. But other than that, right now we're just a three-piece. And just working on a new album, in between just one or two shows that we've got coming up. So it just kind of is what it is. The writing music is one of the most fun things for me. Just being able to do that creativity and everything, having that creativity outlet and everything, and mashing the ideas together and like doing all that. Like that's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to get a release done and then released. Getting an album done and released, that's a lot of fun to me. I like that creativity. Um, I don't mind playing shows; they're fun, but at the same time, I don't. You know, it's a strange thing. Like I do like playing shows, and I've been playing shows on and off for a long time, and all that. But there's some days I just don't want to. You know, it's just like nah. But it is what it is. Um, it's just kind of how it is with the music stuff right now too. I've just had no real desire to work on new stuff, unfortunately, recently, besides the Apothecum album we're working on. Um, and I think a couple of the projects I'll eventually work on some releases for this year, but I've got so much else going on. It's just it's all on the wayside right now. So, graphic design commission stuff and the camouflage brand are my daily grind and focus right now. So, yeah, the hydro dip all you need is a water container and an activator, but there's a right and wrong way to do it. Um, Said hey to King Corso. Hey, Officer 47, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Hell, you're excited for it. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, being your own boss allows you to pick with 18 hours out a day and want to work. Yeah, exactly, dude. It's 24/7 for sure. It's nice being my own boss, as you know as well, Bobby Bama. Um, I won't air out what his business is, but if he wants to, he can tell people what he does. But um, I can't remember we talked about it before or not on a live stream, but anyway, yeah, being your own boss is cool. It is really cool. You're setting your standards. You're putting yourself out there. You're enhancing your communication and just capabilities in general, and like all this stuff. I mean, you're continually and constantly learning as much as you are um getting after it and doing the things. And hey, there's this new launch of whatever, or hey, this is this new tasking or whatever it is, in whatever line of work you're in. Like it's really cool. um and I originally had gone to college for um international business marketing. um didn't last more than didn't last more than a semester. I was still in the military at the time too, so I was just more concerned about getting shit faced all the time and all that stuff, and not dying. Um, it didn't last long, but that was originally what I wanted to do, was kind of go into the firearm industry or whatever with that after the military. But then luck had it, or just playing my cards right and connecting with the right people. Ended up moving into the private security sector um, for a long time, alongside some other stuff, consulting and all that, and then of course music still and all that. But yeah, so went back to college in 2013 to 2015 and got my applied sciences degree in criminal justice and private sector security. So it's just good to pad the resume, but also just there's correlation to the industry that I'm working in now with camouflage and working alongside textiles and everything else. There's a lot of crossover because I know a lot of people in that industry already, and being an end user and understanding how things work and what you want to see out of gear and everything else, like it's all there already. So a lot of correlation there still. So it's really cool. Been too long. You're trying to get your foot in the door for private security. Hell yeah, dude. Um, if you don't mind me asking, what's your background? And I mean, also if you're on LinkedIn, find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm on there. I'm a public figure, obviously. I'm a business owner. So I'm on LinkedIn. You can hit me up on there too. We can talk about stuff. And there's a lot of recruiters on there that are active that you can reach out to. Otherwise, based on what your background and experiences are, you can just go to company websites and they're going to have a career portal, and it'll either direct you to like ADP or whatever, or if it's completely internal with them, which isn't as common, it's usually a third party like ADP or Glassdoor or whatever, aside from the recruiters and stuff active on LinkedIn and everything. And some job listing pops up in groups and on company pages on LinkedIn as well. But there's a lot out there. There's a lot of opportunity out there. So it just depends on what you're looking for. If you fit the criteria, so read the job listing. The criteria is pretty cut and dry, and they lay it out. And then apply, put yourself out there, go forth. Just have your I Love Me book, your CV, your resume, have all your ducks in a row, all your documents and all that. Don't have a lot of debt. Obviously, don't have a criminal record. I don't think you do. I think you've got a professional background already to a degree. So go forth, man. It's pretty easy. Everything's out there. It's just, for a lot of people, it's just taking that step. Whatever mind game they play with themselves or apprehension or whatever, get over it and just put yourself out there. Communicate effectively. Have a good CV, and you can be a prime candidate. So, remember, law enforcement, 7 years total, 5.5 of those Chicago Metro. Oh, okay, dude, we're kind of close to each other. That's cool. If I'm ever back in your area, we should link up, man. Go over to Kuma's Corner or something. I love Kuma's. That's my favorite restaurant in Chicago. Of course, it's metal themed burger joint. Come on. Yeah, Metro Police is a pretty hardcore background. It's a good background to have. Pretty easy to get your foot in the door with that. So, especially even more so law enforcement than, say, having done just armed security domestically for 5 to 7 years. Way more of a prime candidate being law enforcement, prior law enforcement or whatever. So you've got options, man. Just put yourself out there. Have all your ducks in a row, like I said, and you'll be good to go. Gen X, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Covert Breakout. Yeah, dude. What's up, buddy? Everyone's favorite camouflage metalhead. Security contractor metalhead. And camouflage metalhead. I mean, should I grab something fracty here? Should I do I do some show and tell? What am I doing here? We've already been going almost an hour, which is awesome. That really flew by. Got about another hour left. I go for about 2 hours. And this is a good time bracket for it because everyone's either off work or just getting off work or whatever, and they can catch some of it, and then supper time. Definitely show and tell. No, okay. All right. So prototype test print. This was test print material prototype poncho that I shittily sewed myself. But the concept's there. So yeah, ponchos are coming soon. Yeah, where'd it go? Where'd I go? There you go. You can't see me. You can't see me. Ugh. So RW pattern, kind of hard to see in the light, but I did a terrible job on the hood, but everything else is easy. So T-pose, pose on the haters, yeah. So RW pattern. And that's the thing about it. Like, notice how much randomization variation there is in the pattern. Most camouflage patterns, multicam, M81, all that, it's very linear, repetitive. It usually repeats about every 36 inches.
These do not. You will not get a repetition in my patterns for 120 inches in a full scale in the full scale print. Much greater randomization, which attributes to a naturalization of blending in your environment. So yeah, you know, I've never really shown this one off all that much besides like some pictures and stuff. So this was a prototype, a test print of material and a prototype poncho. There is material available now through Rainier Fabrics if somebody wants to buy some yardage of the windbreaker material to make themselves a poncho in whatever pattern they can. Otherwise, with the new printer that'll be coming on board, they'll have a couple of different material types for ponchos and stuff as well. And there's a couple of companies that want to pick up my material. Tacticloak, 5-Star Alterations. I'm sure at one point, like a couple other companies out there are probably going to want to pick them up too. So I've been talking to a bunch of companies: Arid Manufacturing, Tracer Tactical, Light Fighter Gear, a bunch of other companies too. Sable Defense is coming on board. Ope Gear just came on board. Apart from those that are already, partners. So it's like all that stuff. So that's what's happening. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of companies already that are itching to pick stuff up. So, yeah. Everyone's saying hey to each other. Outstanding camo penner. Thanks, man. Yeah, Officer 47. The RW is for like intermediate kind of terrain. So like your kind of like rocky bluff areas. So like Western Mississippi River Valley, the Ozarks, microbiomes that have those kinds of areas like driftless region here in Wisconsin, things like that. As well as like Appalachia, Smokies, things like that. That's what this RW pattern is really for, those regions. Looks fantastic. Thank you. The colors are slightly off on this and the print was a little blurry. But for a test print, I'm happy with it. So again, just a test print and prototype material. So everyone's saying hey to each other. You want a frac T poncho one day? Yeah, Bobby Bama. I mean, they'll be coming soon enough, with the various manufacturers and all that. Yes, Officer 47. I talked in length about it earlier. You'll have to rewind a bit, but the major textile material mill and print provider and printer here in the U.S. that I'm in the process of doing test prints with and everything right now, they will be offering ripstop. The harder part of that, which I said earlier too, is finding uniform manufacturers domestically because I'm not doing TAA stuff. None of that. I only, besides select European manufacturers that do everything in-house in Europe, it's all going to be American. They're equivalent to Berry Compliance over there, is what I'm getting at. It cannot be outsourced TAA manufacturing. Nixie Works. I mean, I follow him on Instagram and stuff. He doesn't show a lot of interest in certain things outside of what he's doing and all that, which is fine. He's a good dude. I need to try and reach out to him again and talk to him a little bit more because I have tried before, didn't hear a peep. So, but there's a bunch of other manufacturers that are on board ready to go. So, yeah. Gen X, that's the PS pattern. Corn stalks and meth labs. That's PS and MU patterns. Yeah, everyone's saying hey to each other. But yeah, so that's what's going on with that. I'm going to take this off now. It's a poncho. It doesn't breathe. So yeah, that's what's up. But for Indiana, because you're on the south end of the Great Lakes region in the Midwest here, I mean, W pattern is probably going to be your flagship. PS is good if you're out in the farm areas, or say do a PS poncho with W uniform stuff whenever that comes. And then A pattern, you could do A pattern as well. Any three of those are going to be your primo options for Indiana. Swigging my Pepsi. It's rare that I drink a Pepsi, but I was just like, I was at Home Depot earlier and I was like, yeah, I could go for a Pepsi. Anybody ruck? As in, does anybody ruck, or are you talking about rucksacks and fractee patterns? Because Whitmore Handmade is one of my partners currently, and he will make a ruck of whatever type out of fractee pattern if you want it. He made that range bag for me that I did a video on and did some testing with the Cordura HP 1000D material. So it's a poly base Cordura 1000D. Pretty much waterproof. That thing is tough as nails. He stitches really well. He makes some really high quality stuff. He makes a lot of new production custom order Alice packs as well. So if anyone needs a pack, hit up Whitmore Handmade on Instagram and you can commission him for a pack. In a fractee pattern. He'll do it. Yeah, I know you did a bunch of rucking on your vacation. Happy belated birthday, but happy birthday, by the way. Covert Breakout is his birthday. Whitmore, WHITTEMORE. Whitmore Handmade. Hold on, let me grab the Whitmore bag. The Whitmore bag in FL pattern. This thing is tough as shit, dude. Let me show you the label here. Thanks for the reflection camera. Focus. Focus. It's not going to focus. Of course it doesn't want to focus. But yeah, in the light. This bag is tough as shit. And he did some of the old school nylon handles on it. The old school nylon from like, you know, Alice pack type stuff. He made handles out of that, but like, this thing is, dude, it's so tough. I can't. You ain't tearing this shit. Not like even some nylon, because like it's the Cordura HP 1000D is a little more rigid, and it's just extremely rugged. Like, this is meant for outdoor use goods, soft goods. It also, you know, in tandem with the sublimation dyeing, it does not fade nearly as quick as nylon. It's something like 10 times longer without fading UV resistance, like years and years and years. It won't fade, which is awesome. So super quality stuff. Yeah, 1000. Yeah, dude, this bag is bomb proof, dude. I put it through its paces. I loaded it heavy with stuff and was, you know, carrying it around and all that. Like, his stitching is phenomenal. And just the material itself is tough. And he was like, because he normally works with a lot of nylon based stuff, and he's like, it is kind of weird material. It's different to work with. I'm like, yeah, it is, but it behaves the same, you know, stitching it and everything. But it is freaking tough stuff. I mean, I'm not This shit is tough, dude. It's really awesome. So he ended up making this for me as a promo, which I wasn't expecting him to. I was just like, hey, if you want to pick up some of my stuff, some of my pattern in whatever material and make some stuff, go for it. And but that's what he ended up doing. So that was really cool. Yeah, super awesome. So he makes really quality stuff. Bear Customs, which is in Pennsylvania. I believe he's got some RW pattern stuff to make something with. He hasn't really like I talked to him personally, and I don't know if he's going to make a bag out of it or what, but if he makes really good bags too. So if you want a bag from Bear Customs as well, go hit him up. He's not officially a partner yet, just because he hasn't released anything in Frac T before. But he will do a custom order. Same with Whitmore. They both do custom order stuff. Bear Customs also does small MOQ run stuff, contract production and otherwise. But yeah, he just makes really cool stuff. There was one other one kind of right out the gate that is making bags and is willing to take on custom orders. There's also Cottonmouth Customs. He doesn't do bags all that much, but he can do bags. He makes a lot more like pouches and load bearing equipment and stuff. His custom order stuff is awesome too. So Cottonmouth Customs also on Instagram. Bear Customs has his own website. He's also on Instagram. Whitmore Handmade is just Instagram basically. I don't know if he's got a website up yet or not, but he's been doing it a long time. There's a couple of others. I just can't think of them right now. So, but to answer your question otherwise, there's my Tasmanian Tiger Long Range Raid Pack Mark III. It's always packed and ready to go. So I only ever have to throw ammo and water in it and I can go out the door, so. Yeah, much longer without Fade Justin B. I mean, much longer. So yeah, this stuff lasts. Everyone's like, "Ooh, Paulie." I'm like, well, as far as tensile strength goes, it is equivalent to any nylon good. As far as that goes, this stuff is insanely tough. And again, this handles outdoor elements even better than your standard nylon. Obviously, with some of the laminate stuff now, which will be offered as well, along with anything, because I need to have that be offered to the market, as is the demand by various companies. Some of the laminates, are getting up to par with that kind of resilience and resistance to the elements and stuff out there. But as far as a singular material goes, it is very hard to beat this. So yeah, I'm very impressed that Rainier Fabrics offers it. So there's 600D as well, which the Swift Design and Textiles, slings are made out of, and like a number of other products that are out there that companies have made that they offer are available. It's also waterproof and extremely durable, and it has the same elemental and UV resistance. So super strong stuff. It's 500D equivalent stuff. So just with even better, elemental and UV resistance to it. So main thing is the poly-based stuff is just a little more rigid. And people say, oh, it shines more and all that. No, I've done nods tests. I have a video on it. I've got photos on it, especially sublimation dyeing. It's NIR rated with good sublimation dyeing, which Rainier does, which is awesome. It is NIR rated. So that's awesome too. Yeah, Covert Breakout turned 30. So happy birthday. I turned 40 this year, so I got 10 years on you. Do I look 40? I don't think so. Old bike messenger bag made out of 1000D. It's family heirloom now. Yeah. Well, it was probably nylon. It could have been polybase. I don't know, but yeah, heirloom for sure. They just hold up. If they're well made, they hold up. You know. Bobby Bama's got to run. Hey, we'll talk later, man. Thanks for popping in. It's good talking to you. Well, exactly. 600 is good enough for worn soft goods and all that. I mean, most chest rigs, pouches, and all that, they're made out of 500, 600D stuff. Yes, I mean it's that too, and bags. Plenty of bags that use that as well. So denier or denier, however you want to pronounce it, that just refers to the thread count and the density of weave, the warp and the weft density of the weave, and a little bit of the thickness of the threading and stuff. But that's what that coding is in reference to. So, well, yeah, 600D is totally fine for most stuff. Yeah, it's great material. Yep, as long as it's quality build. Gen X, you hit 53 a couple weeks ago. Well, happy belated birthday, you old fart. It's all good, man. Hope it was a good one. Go for breakout. Gotta run. Wife made lasagna from scratch, garden sauce, and you're starving. You gonna give me some? Happy birthday, man. Go eat. I'll be eating as soon as this live stream is over. So you're definitely an old fart. Hey, anyone else that's in the chat that hasn't said hey, say hey. Throw out a whatever topic of discussion, questions you have, whatever it is. You're getting there, Jenna. You're not quite there yet. You're not quite there yet. You're getting there, though. It's all right. Is it weird, being over the hill this year a little? But time's flown by so fast. It just, I mean, it really kind of still felt like yesterday that I was like just getting out of the army, and that was 2008. Like, it doesn't feel like that much time has gone by, but it has. It's weird. Hey, lawfully armed. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Have you heard from Tactical Muffin Top? Is he okay? The older you get, the faster time flies. I believe it. You feel over the hill at 35? Yeah, no. I got 5 years on you, brother. Muffin is alive. Good. Glad he's okay. Anyone else in here, say hey. Yeah. Good. Good. You know what time it is? Smoke him if you got him. Smoking bad for you. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. It's my only vice. I don't drink like a fish. I don't have anything else. This is what I got. So whatever. It's my long-term stress crutch. I don't care. Yeah. Yeah. So many people, binge drink and all that and everything else. It's like, yeah, no, don't do that. Friggin' all good things in moderation. It's fine to have a good quality beer with a meal or a glass of wine, whatever that is. Don't make it an every night habit, but there's nothing wrong with that. and then occasionally socially or for a holiday or special occasion or whatever, you know? It's not often. You've only ever heard grunts say smoke him if you got him. Yep. Because it always could be your last. You never fucking know. That's why. Gen X, you're waiting on your edible to kick in. Oh, you're one of them. Everyone's had their time with that. If they haven't, they're either a liar or whatever. But not my jam. But you do you. Officer 47, what's a good way to reach me? Caffeine is your stress crutch. Either a cigar or scotch when I've earned it. Hell yeah, dude. I can appreciate a good stogie. I do love my caffeine as well. But it's not a crutch. It's just part of daily life and daily function anymore, you know? It's so ingrained in our diet, even from an early age. I mean, hell, I think I had my first cup of coffee. I was drinking coffee in high school. Fuck it, you know, whatever. You're a whatever then. Prude? No, whatever. Whatever, dude. So Officer 47, good way to reach me. So if you're on Instagram, you can hit up the Fracty Instagram and DM me there. You can connect and message me on LinkedIn if you're on there for a professional capacity. I am on Discord if you're on Discord. Same name, DJ the Metalhead Mercenary, D.J. the Metalhead Mercenary, all one word on Discord. Yeah, there's a bunch of ways to get a hold of me. I don't know if you're in any. I don't know if you're on Signal either, or in any of the groups there. Otherwise, but yeah, there's several different avenues that can easily reach out to me, even before using the contact form on the Fracty website or whatever. So, Gen X is your stress relief. Otherwise, you might be tasting 357. Well, don't do that. If it helps you in that sense, it helps you. I'm all for the holistic and the therapeutic, you know, medicinal application of natural substances like that. That's fine, you know. That's what it should be for. Um, just found me on Instagram. Cool. Yeah, hit me up. You know, you can DM me on Instagram. I'll get to it here in a little bit when I'm done here after I eat and everything. We can chat. Um, hey Ogre, what's up, dude? Weekly dose, definitely not a daily thing. That's good. That's good moderation, and that's good for what it is. It's you know, obviously it's legal where you are and everything. That's a good regimen then, you know. Because again, just like alcohol, you know, people abuse it. So Ogre, fucking 95 degrees and humid as fuck. Yes, yeah, it is very humid out. I mean, we got thunderstorms on and off all day today here, so it's very humid here, and it was not quite as hot as it has been, but I think it still hit. I think it hit 75. Um, the other day it was like 85. Like 2 days ago, it was like 85. I don't know. Anything above 70, I'm not enjoying it. I don't like the heat at all. Gen X says Friday night, well, 2 quarters banquet. Coors. When it comes to beer, I will judge you. Today is Friday for you. It's Friday Eve, you know? You took tomorrow off. There you go. Yeah, why do you guys drink such bad beer? Come on. If it's under like 6.5, 7% ABV, it's water. Like you gotta drink some proper beer. And in that case, drinking the proper beer, you're not drinking as many. You make your supply last longer. I got the because I had one of these the other night with a meal, the Tripel. That's 8.5% ABV. Delicious. But you have one with your meal, kind of thing. Maybe another one after, whatever. But it's very rare that I go out of my way to overindulge and get hammered or close to or just be buzzing, feeling real good like that. Um, Memorial Day is usually one of those occasions, again, holiday, special occasion kind of thing. Um, I think Justin B and Covert and some of those guys in our little group chat thing we have uh experienced me in a little bit more festive state, I guess you would say, with that. I mean, vodka's fine too, Ogre. I like vodka, but I don't overdo it. Banquet is 6%. Nope, still not enough. Still weak. I just don't like. Again, most American domestics just do not taste good. Like like a lot of the good craft brews and then like the good like Belgian imports and stuff just have way more flavor to them. They taste a lot better. They're stronger. You know, that's my jam. Just to be, if you drink, you skip a meal to make sure it works. Yeah, you should not do that. It is terrible to drink on an empty stomach. Do not do that. Word to all the young folk out there, fucking eat some food before you start drinking. And while you're drinking, eat some food. And after you've been drinking, eat a little food and drink water. Large ogre needs some elderberry mead. Ooh, yeah. I love mead. I've got a couple of bottles of mead in my fridge right now. My buddy got some, hooked it up. So that's for us when we hang out. That's for us to enjoy during the summer here. Um, Memorial Day, I did smash an entire bottle of mead, so that was part of the contributor there. But again, that's not often. Just to be down to 3 days a week at most, working on it. Training again is helping you not want to indulge as much. That's good. That's good. Staying active is winning half the battle. It really is. Eat a big sub meal. Yeah, just a decent meal. Yep, Dansk Mjød, the Viking blood. I like that one a bit. The hibiscus is really nice in that. Odin's skull is my favorite one out of the Dansk Mjød brand line. But the Viking blood and the Reba Mjød are my two next favorites. They're very, very good. And they're hops fortified, so they're stronger, which I appreciate. Did I send it a boo boo today? Yep, that's what happens. You did a ruck 10 mags pistol rifle today. Yep, good, good. 4 bottles of mead and I'm ready to drink. Stuff messed you up. Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting how people who come from different regions or cultures or whatever, how different alcohols affect them. I can't like for me, I cannot do brown liquors. Mm-mm. Nope, can't do it. Well, when it comes to like vodka and like mead, port, tawny, wine, all that's all totally fine. Beer's fine too. but cannot do brown liquor. Someone messaged me and oh, holy shit! So my buddy in Ukraine just messaged me. He's Ukrainian. He's on the front lines. He's shot down 5 enemy drones in the last 2 weeks with a Krinkov. First one he shot down, he got lightly wounded. He's okay though. Obviously, he's already back on the line. But yeah, that's wild, dude. 5 drones in just under 2 weeks. That's crazy. That's that's crazy. Dude's an ace. Dude's an ace at shooting them down, man. You know, he's a gamer too, so he's got the hand-eye coordination. You know, but he knows how to lead a target. People out there, learn how to lead your targets. I see so many people that don't know how to freaking do that. That's crazy though. Ogre, you hate rum. So rum is okay. That I guess that's the one brown liquor that sits okay with me, but it's got to be a good rum. I like Kraken, Mount Gay Barbados. That's a really good, authentic rum from, from the Caribbean. Um, there's a couple others that are okay too. I don't like Sailor Jerry's. I don't like Captain Morgan. Malibu's a white rum. Malibu's okay. It's a heavy coconut flavor. Um, no, I like more your classic, just spiced rum as far as rum goes. But yeah, I don't really drink it all that much. So again, brown liquor, you got to be careful, at least for me. Lawfully armed. How long does that luck last? I hope it lasts as long as he has to be out there. Uh, he's already right when the invasion happened and kicked off. He was in the south of the country in a territorial defense force that had spun up fighting, and then he had a couple of years where he didn't have to, and he went back to working and stuff and doing all that. And we have a couple of music projects together and stuff. But he's now he's back with another unit doing the stuff, and I worry about him every day. So we get to talk fairly often, but I worry about him. I've already lost a lot of buddies. I don't need to lose any more. So um yeah. Uh, Trog, currently looking through the old Dodge in the forest, found out every single one of the fuses is just gone. Oh yeah, I'd imagine. I'm sure a bunch of other stuff has gone out of that too. Oh, Dodge of the forest, share us your wisdom. Fucking. Um, yeah. Full Metal Jacket quote there, Gen X. Very good. Justin B went through a spice rum phase. It was a long year. I can imagine. Trog gonna have my new fuses have a beer about it. Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah, Officer 47. I mean, he's not a religious guy. Um, he's very much anti like that. But I mean, any luck, any good wishes that we can rub off on him, you know, it helps. It helps. He's not the only friend I have over there, but he's one he is a good friend, and we get to talk often. So, but yeah, he just messaged me, so I'll get back to him here in a little bit. It's late there for him, so he's probably bedding down anyway. So, but yeah, that's crazy. He personally has shot down 5 drones in the last 2 weeks. That's crazy. And think about that ratio. Think about that ratio for every single guy over there, if that's even close to the ratio that they deal that any frontline guys are dealing with. That's a lot. That's military logistics level. You know, you're not going to see something like that with Teotihuacan as HTF here at home. It's not going to be like that over there. It's very much like that. It's crazy. So, and that's part of the disparity. And I've brought that up before and made some lengthy, you know, comments and dissertations about that. Um, which I think Jay, Modern Minuteman, and a couple other guys actually ended up making posts with that information, that take on it, on their Substacks, newsletters and stuff. And with the crink, exactly. And with the crink. I think one was with a shotgun, but the rest have been with a crink. Every video he sent me has been a crink. So it's like, holy shit, man. It's not the best platform for it, but the fact that he's done that, it's got a good rate of automatic fire. So, and they do have the specialty rifle caliber rounds for anti-drone use, uh, partially. I think it's like the first couple of rounds are the anti-drone rounds, and then the rest are just standard, ball ammo. Maybe a little bit. I mean, duck hunting is a thing in Ukraine, but he's a gamer, and he's just good with his weapon. He knows his weapon. Um, so it when it comes to training on a personal level as a prepared citizen or otherwise, your weapon needs to be an extension of your body. That's how good you need to be with it. That's how natural it needs to come to you when utilizing it. I see a lot of stuff out there where people are not comfortable yet with handling firearms, to that extent where it's natural looking. Like, you got to be good with it, especially doing that kind of shit. You got to be good with it. So, yep, yep. Again, whether it's prepared citizens, whether it's professionally, military, private sector, law enforcement, whatever it is. Like, a lot of law enforcement people aren't gun people. There are people that are, Officer 47 included, and some of my buddies, and everything. But there's a lot that aren't, and it shows with when it comes to the requals, when it comes to training otherwise, and all that stuff. They're not totally comfortable with their platforms. Um, if you're going to be in a profession or have a chosen extracurricular to where you're using that stuff, you've got to be that in tune with it and that natural with handling and manipulating it and everything and shooting it. So about 30 minutes left in the live here. Anyone new popping in, say hey, ask a question in the chat. Slow mode is on. Keeps the spam and bots away. Also helps me just keep track of the chat. Gotta go to call. We'll see you later, Officer 47. You be safe. I'll talk to you later. And have a good weekend. Be safe. Especially in the cities right now. You gotta be safe. Yep. Any other topics you all want to talk about, or questions you got, or whatever? Anyone new that's come in, say hey in the chat, ask a question, fire off for a topic of discussion. That's pretty much what this is for. These live streams. Hey, Practical Rifleman. What's up, brother? How you doing? Glad you could pop in for
a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Justin B. It's because law enforcement is not pushed by their employer to be better. You can thank unions for that in part, but also, um, it's a strange dichotomy in a police department with all of the things that are going on. Um, but on an individual level, officers should be. A lot of them get overworked. There's a lot of overtime out there right now, but there should be a little bit more due diligence and actually getting some training in outside, you know, or attending more courses or whatever it is to just get that little bit better at it, alongside everything else involved with their job. There needs to be regular, they get regular notices and education and stuff on when laws change and policy and all that stuff. But I mean, you got to take it upon yourself to know Tennessee v. MIM and everything else. I got a degree in that stuff too. And I don't just let it fall by the wayside. I'm still regularly kind of looking at things. It's good education to understand both that as a citizen and in that profession. Um, it's that kind of stuff. Um, but like if you're gonna take up that kind of job, it's a job that takes that amount of investment and dedication. It does. Um, it's easier to make it work having a family and stuff in that line of work, but it's still difficult, just like with the military and private sector doing stuff. It's difficult. Again, effort, effort and diligence that takes on the personal side on the home front as much as, the effort and diligence that it takes to be as good as you can at your freaking job. And it should be like that for everyone in every job. You do need to be pursuing uh excellence, for lack of a better word, or just higher proficiency and efficiency and any number of other things. Having that knowledge base, and everything else. Justin B, lots of people who are proficient though, so it boils down to how much the person is willing to. That's what I was saying. It's an individual basis. A lot of people slack off on it. They let the cushion of comfort, being the whatever it is, policy wise, how their leadership behaves in certain career fields, the unions and stuff, that allows them to be lackadaisical in a lot of ways. You missed too many. I mean, I only really do these once a month still, so it's not like you've missed all that much, man. It's all good. You know what's going on because we talk and everything behind the scenes. So, but I'm glad you came in. Lawfully, I'm sorry. It's been asked before. Any hydrographic for stocks and such? Yeah, talking with ICI Hydro right now. Um, Waiting to hear back from them, and then waiting to hear back from the two U.S. printers that supply them with the sheets, the film, or whatever. So we're in that process right now. We should be doing some licensing here soon. So hydrographic hydro dip should be available soon. Um, it depends. It depends on the dyes and the it really depends on the dyes as far as for printing on those sheets. There is NIR stuff out there, NIR dyes out there for printing on hydrographic sheets. More expensive, obviously, but it just depends. Want to see hydrodipticas? Dude, that would be cool. Well, that's what I'm saying. This hydro dip company. I mean, they have an FFL, so they can dip chassis and receivers and all that stuff, fore ends and all that. So, whenever we kind of get that process finished, the Fracti will be options for their catalog for people to you know get stuff dipped. So, at some point, you know. Yeah. I'll need to, yeah, whenever we do the licensing, I'll need to drive up there because I think they're about like 3.5 hours away from me. I'll need to drive over to them. I'll probably take a couple of Magpul mags with me and we'll hydro dip those mags. For just to see how it looks and everything, but also marketing and maybe I'll do a giveaway with one of those magazines. I don't know. We'll see. But that kind of thing, like that's kind of stuff. But they've done dips on ballistic helmets and stuff, and some of the other patterns, DevGru AOR, multicam, ballistic plates, helmets, all that. They do all that stuff there too. So yeah, it's awesome. So that option will be available soon. So I'm just, half the time it's me just waiting to hear back or waiting on whatever step in the process. I do my due diligence and all that, and it's just waiting for a reply or waiting for that back and forth. And we can move forward on things or figure things out or whatever it is. So it's just kind of how it works. On for part of it on the business end, apart from all the other stuff I talked about earlier, which I went on talking about for like 30 minutes because I always do. So it just is what it is. Any other questions or topics here? Got just about 20 minutes left in the live here, so keep firing away. Anything you got. Also, shout out again to XXL dude. I did a trade with him for this camera upgrade. And he got a sweet drop leg platform for it. So I think he's posted some videos about it or some pictures and stuff. I don't know if he's doing a video at some point, but yeah, I hooked him up with a piece of my old contractor equipment. It was one of the Blackhawk drop leg PALS platforms. Molly, it's PALS, but Molly. So you can Molly attach, whatever to it, pouches, med kit, whatever. It's just an extra carriage system. It was very useful for us, especially in vehicles all the time, to have that. So it was a good trade. It was a good trade. So I appreciate the camera. So yeah, it does look good. I'm happy with it. So Drug, you hate modern vehicles with the flat screen TVs where the radio should be. Agreed. Screw all that computer crap. Screw all that. You will pay for this and still not own it. Crap. Screw all that, dude. We need to go back to the glory of the 90s and early 2000s for vehicles. Simple. Proper stereo, CD player, tape deck, whatever. Simple controls. I don't really care if I have automatic windows or not. They can be roll down, but automatic, whatever. Like simple. Analog gauges, no distractions, because those screens are giant fucking distractions. And I hate how digital displays look in vehicles. God awful. Absolute dog shit. So if we could have some basic fleet vehicle style stuff like that available for 15, 20 grand, a lot of people in the country would be very happy, myself included. I know you hate technology, Gen X. Yeah, truck has the flat screen. Don't like the aspect. Yeah, don't like that aspect. Yeah, no, it sucks, man. And you can't remove it. I mean, you could, but you might have some other problems involved with that. You can't just tell them, "Hey, take this out and put a regular fucking CD player and climate control stuff in there." Like, fuck, man. Mine is the least tech you could get in a Toyota. Right, right. Yeah, you have. I remember you got a newer Toyota. It looks great, but it's like that kind of shit is unnecessary in it. I've got an 044 runner. There's no screens in that. It does have an aftermarket CD player from the one prior owner it had before me. Um, but it's awesome. Like it's basic. It's nice. It runs like a champ. It's a freaking tank, reliable, easy to work on. Like that's all a vehicle needs to be. Everyone's trying to turn everything into a freaking circuit board luxury item. And it's like, no, most people do not and do not need it and shouldn't have it. They just need something simple to get them from point A to point B. That's reliable and safe. Trog, planning on buying an early 90s Ford or late 80s Dodge D250. Just check the frame, man. Especially up in our neck of the woods, you got to check the frame. Gen X Gemini, 50s to 70s vehicles. I mean, I do love some of the classic vehicles. I do. Love 68 Camaro SS. Love 77 Trans Am, even though they leaked oil like a motherfucker. You know, the old Broncos, old Land Cruisers, Land Rovers. Like, they're awesome, but there's a happy medium, you know. Modern trucks have so many features that they're less safe than most old trucks. Yeah, absolutely. Plus all the plastic instead of, metal body, and all that. Mine's got metal body. Just some of the like the little bit of bumper in the front and some of the trim is plastic. The rest is metal body. Like they should not go away from that. You need a Toyota like they sell in Africa, just a regular Hilux. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. We need to be able to get access to Hiluxes here. Um, too large and oversized. For a lot of purposes, yeah, those trucks are too large and oversized. If you're not using it for work use like that, like they don't need to be that big. Good midsize, like, I mean, my Forerunner was one of the last years of Forerunner where it was still using the Tacoma frame and, the Tacoma and the Forerunner were using the same frame and engine and transmission and everything. Like that kind of cross compatibility and ease of manufacturing and assembly. Come on. For one of the most reliable vehicles in the fucking world, come on. Old Dodge is working on it, sitting there as a boring turnover. Yeah, right. Probably get your 84 Dodge back on the road at some point. Nice, nice. Yeah, 84 Dodge Ram sitting out back. Fix it up, man, or sell it. One of the two. The 74 Firebird. Yeah, I've seen your pictures of your Firebird. It's a beautiful car, man. 84 Dodge D150. Trog, the Tacoma drive 2012, and the frame is a little scary before we started maintaining it. Yeah, and that's the thing. The frames just get eaten up here, man. That's some. It's a huge concern of mine right now with the Forerunner because it is old and older now, and it's 22-year-old truck now, and the frame is getting eaten away, and that sucks. 81 Trans Am Gen X, nice, dude. Justin B, got an old Bronco, nice. I got another buddy in Florida that's got a Bronco too. That's awesome. Need to be finished in El Camino. That will be done in August. Whoa, nice. Love 80 and early 2000s Tacomas. Yeah, Datsun, dude, you got a Datsun? One of the rare imports. Not many of them were imported. Uncountable amount of miles. Oh, I believe it. That's a million. Just like Toyota's Datsun. I mean, that's a million-mile vehicle. Gen X. Yeah. Bought a 99 Ford for the farm. It's got some frame rot we're working on. Yeah, that's the frame rot's it's terrible up here. So that's concerning because in the next couple of years I'm either going to have to get an entire new frame for this thing if I want to keep using this, and that's not going to be cheap either. or I'm gonna have to figure out another vehicle. I don't really want to part ways with what I got, but I'm trying to make it last as long as I can. You know, maintain what can be maintained. Without because I don't have an exorbitant amount of money to be pouring into doing a full restoration on that thing. That's the most that's a painful pill to have to swallow. Trog, love boxy trucks from the 70s and 90s. I don't care if they're unaerodynamic, not fuel efficient. I mean, even still, like it. So my grandpa had a '94 Ford Ranger for a long time with the six banger in it. That was a great truck, man. It was fairly good even on the highway. That was a great little truck, man. The Ford Rangers are great. Those older Ford Rangers are great, and they just work exactly. Oh, okay, Justin B. All those cars are in Hawaii at your mom's house. Got them when you were in your 20s. So they were all pretty cheap then. I got you. It's dating you a bit. No, it's fine, dude. That's sick though. I didn't realize they even imported Datsuns to fucking Hawaii. That's cool. Lawfully armed, like the Justin B's method. I'm down two of the WC surge before I have to have my sandwich. There you go. They don't need fucking computer to work. Absolutely, practical rifleman. Absolutely. You don't need it. Even like the early 2000s, like the 90s and early 2000s vehicles, there is a computer in it technically, but it's a very basic one. It's more of a series of sensors and switches than it is actual computation control. You know, it's a coil pack system. It's not an old school distributor, but it's a coil pack system. It's like that's all you need. And they're easy to work on too. It's so easy to work on, and they're just reliable. You don't need all this computer shit. So even if I were to say, so hypothetically, say I were to buy like a 2027 Tacoma, I would want a fleet Tacoma, a completely stripped down Tacoma. And even then, I would tell them, like, also remove this, and this. I don't fucking want them. If I'm going to do a build, because I talked to Toyota USA, I talked to their HQ in Texas a while back, and I was like, can we get an option that doesn't have this dog shit in it? And they're like, oh, you got to talk to your local dealership to do a build. I'm like, that is not a good answer. Because even with the build, they're going to still add some of the shit that you don't want. And that's a problem. So, going to have to really duke it out with a dealership to do a build and get as little as possible in it. It's ridiculous. Gen X, you never mind dating yourself. You never say no. Attaboy. Trog. Old Ford Rangers are amazing. Every time you see one, there's some sort of rust and a little Ranger on the side. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, they always rust right there. Oh, you guys miss each other. Trog. Me and Dank on Discord. Gonna meet up someday and combine our old truck autism to restore some old thing. Nice, dude. That's a project worth. That's a worthy project. Gen X not around much anymore. Frustration with YouTube and working your day shift. It is what it is. I feel it. I've kind of neglected. I try to put out one video a week on YouTube, and that's pretty much it. I'll catch various channels that I'm subscribed to every once in a while. Otherwise, I'm just got music on a lot. You know. Perkins around. Practical Rifleman. I wish we could get a dealership that would take orders. Remember a guy in the country that wants plain vehicles and get us our own build package, 4x4 stick, V6, no big central computer, plain Jane, analog gauges, roll up, roll down windows, power windows. I don't care. That's fine too. But yes, exactly that. That's what we need. Toyota needs to freaking listen. Fuck all this EV and hybrid shit. Fuck all these computers. Like, screw all that shit. We don't need any of that. That's what I'm saying, bro. Yes, I wish a dealership could do that. That was OEM sanctioned by a company like Toyota. Toyota needs to just get it together. They need to listen to the consumer more. Not this freaking boomers and plain Janes and normies that freaking don't know any better. The people that are actually using their vehicles and have multi-range purpose for them and a number of other things. All these distractions, all this shit in vehicles now, it's taking away from the enjoyment of taking a drive, from a number of other things, like it is. I've gone on tirades about this stuff before. I know we talk about this. That's what I love about my 4Runner. I really don't want it to die. I really want to try and keep it going. It's just it's gonna take so much money to keep it going. Insofar as like the frame and stuff, it's depressing. Gen X, you want a day shift, taking care of your elderly parents. Oh yeah, yep, it's that time too. Nah, you meant both lawfully. That's what I'm saying, Predator Rifleman. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, my favorite years of 4Runners are the late 80s through the 90s and these early 2000s ones. These early, it's technically an early 4th gen, but like it's perfect. It is literally all I need. It doesn't take away from driving. You don't have distractions. Everything's simple. It like that's yeah, Land Cruiser. Those years of Land Cruisers too. We were rolling around in some up-armored Land Cruisers in the desert, on and off too, between the Suburbans and other stuff we had too. But I love Land Cruisers. Fucking great vehicle. That's like the bougie step up from a 4Runner. But yeah, I love Land Cruisers too. What is it? The J70 Land Cruiser pickup, basically the equivalent of a Hilux, as well, just a little more power to it. I'd take one of those. Hell yeah. Love watching Junkyard digs and drives a shitbox across country and feeding it oil like a starving Somali. I've never really watched his channel. I'll have to check something out. Just keep it running. Justin B. Bombard, 2000s 4Runner. That thing is a beast. Dude, they're awesome. I've got the VVT-V6 in mine. Like, I love it, dude. It's awesome. It's pretty good gas mileage on the highway, about 24 on the highway. I can't complain about that. That's pretty good. I can go pretty good distance on one tank. Almost 400 miles. Or if I have mountain gas, it's 400 miles. A little over even. Justin B had a 3-inch lift in his whole life in 33s. Wow. That's a little excessive, but wow. I mean, I like Overlander builds. I do. They're cool as shit, but 33s are this is a little excessive. Gen X, is tired of your channel going nowhere. And took down most of your content. Well, didn't you just get like they remove a video of yours or something lately too, or did you get a strike or some shit? I can't remember. I think everyone's backed off on YouTube because of the shit that they're pulling, but also everyone's just so busy trying to keep their head above water in this economy right now. I guess this will be my last thoughts about everything because we're hitting this 2-hour mark and I gotta go make dinner. I'm hungry, but tired of be cheap. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so with this YouTube stuff, like YouTube needs to get their head out of their ass. They need to respect free speech. They need to respect freedom of information. They need to respect a number of other things and allow channels to that we're doing well and growing to be able to continue to. It's not being managed very well. All these policies are bullshit. The AI integration is fucking atrocious. The moderation is dog shit. Um, it's nearly impossible to get a hold of an actual person over there to get anything resolved. Um, just a number of things like that. I obviously, as many of us do, remember the golden era of YouTube being those early years when it first came out. That was amazing. It needs to go back to that. Damn near a free for all. Hey, Sassy, you are literally just catching me at the very end of my live stream here, so you're gonna have to go back and replay the whole thing. But it's good to see you. Um, it is what it is. So, kind of closing thoughts here. There's a lot that's really cool that's going on right now, at least personally with the business and everything else, and all that. But at the same time, there's a lot of demotivating and disheartening stuff going on in the world and in these various industries to include with YouTube and everything else. And you know um the economy, it's terrible. Something's got to give at some point. um we can only do what we can do, but it's not being made any easier by dumbasses making decisions. um it doesn't matter what side of the table they're on, they're all dumbasses. So, um, yeah, that's about my piece for the rest of it. Just freaking everyone, just keep your chin up, keep doing what you're doing. Just keep getting after it. I know everyone's struggling right now with the economy and everything else, and just keep going, one foot in front of the other. Um, you're gonna have little wins here and there. Okay. Um, that's about all I can say. Just freaking don't quit. Just don't quit. Just keep getting after it. Keep doing the things. Turn off the TV and MSM. Yeah. I mean, you got to keep your pulse to the world. You got to keep your finger on the pulse of the world, but yes, don't, the MSM can go eat a whole bag of dicks too, alongside all the people at YouTube and all these politicians and everyone else, going to engorge themselves on a big old bag of dicks. So, yep, you're right, Trog. Yep. I mean, there's some stuff the Zoomers do that is freaking stupid too, and they need to knock that shit off too. But you know, value intelligence, value learning. One's one foot in front of the other. Just fucking get after it. That's all I can say. Stay away from the BS. The older you get, the less a shit you give. You know, it just is what it is. So with that, thank you all for tuning in. I love you all. This has been a wonderful live stream. Be sure to replay if you missed anything. And I appreciate all of you. It's always a good time hanging out, as well as the other modicums of hanging out, being Discord or Signal or whatever. But I hope you all have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Go enjoy it. And with that, more stuff coming soon. Metal the fuck up. Later.
Hold on. Where's the ending now? They switched everything. Oh, okay, it's up here now. Metal up. Out.